Good evening, live from Bangkok, Thailand, the city of the Big Mango. This is Big Joe coming live from Bangkok by way of All Talk Production. And before I get into the topic, please like, subscribe, share, and bang the notification bell. Please share with your family and friends. And I'd like to talk to you today, give a little bit of a history and my personal reflection on Memorial Day. And a lot of people, and back in the United States, it's a federal holiday. A lot of people will be going out, barbecuing, sleeping in. And there's nothing wrong with that. But let me give you a little bit of history on Memorial Day. Held in the last Monday of May. It's basically it's the nation's foremost annual day to mourn and honor its deceased service men and women. It was originally called Decoration Day. It was formalized by Memorial Day order issued by Grand Army of the Republic Commander in Chief John A. Logan in 1868. Basically, after the Civil War, Americans across the nation were holding tributes to honor the approximately 620,000 soldiers who lost their lives. At that point in time, after the Civil War, that was about 2% of the U.S. population. Those early observances, including decorating graves with flowers and praying and paying respect to the fallen. Now, I'm not saying don't have a good time on Memorial Day. I'm not saying don't enjoy your family. But what I am saying is this: take a moment to be thankful, to reflect. Be thankful for those fallen soldiers, Marines, sailors, and airmen. The freedoms that we have are because of those sacrifices. Those are the real heroes. Heroes aren't athletes. I'm sorry to tell you, they're not actors. They're not actresses. You want to see real heroes. These are real heroes. These people never made it home. So when you think over the weekend, or the weekend's almost over here. Think about those that are fallen. I mean, there's family members, that kids without fathers, without mothers, without grandmothers, grandfathers. I told you it was, in 1868, known as Decoration Day. The expansion, had been pretty much after World War I, the day was expanded to honor all American military personnel who died in any war. It became a federal holiday in 1971. It became an official federal holiday, moving to the last Monday of May. This way it was meant to create a 3-day weekend. Now, there's a lot of observances and traditions. There's a national moment of remembrance that takes in America that the government is encouraging that takes place at 3 p.m. local time to pause and reflect on the sacrifices made for the country. Volunteers normally place American flags on graves of fallen service members and national cemeteries across the country, most notably at Arlington National Cemetery. Flags at half staff that will be flown at half staff from sunrise until noon. then raised at the top of the staff for the remainder of the day. Now, we also have dead our dead buried in Normandy. We have veterans here buried in Thailand, where we go to those graves and we put flags in those graves. We have service members buried all throughout the world. This day isn't Veterans Day to honor a veteran that's still living. This day is put aside for our fallen brothers and sisters. I'm not saying don't have a good time, but life isn't always a party. Life isn't always about money. Sometimes life is about believing in something greater than yourself. And these men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice believed in something greater than themselves. You can disagree with governments, you can disagree with presidents, but you know what? Don't take it out on the fallen veteran. Look, I did over 20 years in the United States Navy. I definitely wasn't a hero. I worked on the flight deck. I did some security. And then I worked in administrative roles. But you know what? It was an honor to serve. And I'm still in touch with a lot of my friends. And all my friends and myself, we know people that have fallen. So just keep that in mind as on Monday, as you're off from your job or from school. In America, what I encourage you to do at 3 p.m., just take a moment of silence and reflect on what the fallen have done from World War I to World War II, the Vietnam War. There's Marines who are killed in barracks in 1983 in Beirut. Desert Shield, Desert Storm, the War on Terror. And you may not have agreed with all those government policies. But you know what? That's your right, and that's fine. But don't take it out on the fallen veteran. They died so not that you can live and you can have the freedom. So, with that being said, I was supposed to go out earlier tonight. I just wanted to take a moment to think and reflect. I know a couple guys didn't make it home, and I'm thinking about them and their families this weekend. Here in Thailand, I'll be thinking about them tomorrow. And wherever you're at in the world, I hope you have a great night, day, evening, wherever you're at. Please like, subscribe, share, and bang the notification bell. Thank you, and God bless. Have a great, once again, have a great day or evening wherever you're at in the world. Take care.